Real. This is Jesse. Jesse something. What was his name? Jesse Morse. Jesse Morse. That's what he has to say.
Named Kobe reported that McCaffrey was in. Hey guys, Dr. Morse, injury experts. So we're going to talk to new advancement in Christian McCaffrey. So a tweet not too long ago reported that McCaffrey was in Munich, Germany. They're visiting a specialist reportedly regarding his Achilles tendon injury. Now, this is definitely abnormal. If something is straightforward, as far as an injury is concerned, you don't have to fly to Germany to address it, especially in the middle of the season. Now, don't just take my word for it. I am a sports medicine physician that has the credentials to be a team physician. My mentor is a team physician. I understand what the resources they have, what our responsibility is, and what we can and can't do here in America. Taking it a step further, there are certain things we have here in America that we don't have access to compared to other countries like Germany, for instance. I'm going to take you back to a time about 12, 13, maybe 14 years ago, when a young elite basketball player named Kobe Bryant went to Germany to get something called Regenikine, which is a modified PRP. He eventually returned when he tore his Achilles, sound familiar, to get reportedly something called IRAP, which is a very strong protein type matrix that we get from stem cells, often our own stem cells, usually from our bone marrow, extracted, isolated, and injected directly into the specific area. Now, this very well may be what McCaffrey is there for. Now, I need you to understand something. Most of you may or may not know, I'm not just a regular sports medicine physician that takes care of older people and that takes care of high school athletes and does steroid injections and preps people for surgery or whatnot.
I feel like bro has been reading way too many of the comments. I'm taking your word for it, man. You told me you're a sports doctor, whatever. I can't think of the term right now. You told me you have experience in this and you've got other opinions as well. I feel like he's going to go on a rant about how, like, I'm credentialed, damn it. We get it, bro.
No. My specialty is actually stem cells, regenerative medicine. I actually inject different versions of stem cells into patients every day. That's literally what I do. So there's not many more people qualified to talk about this than me. You know, I speak at stem cell courses lecturing about sports medicine and soft tissue injuries. So for me to say he has to go to Germany to get something is pretty substantial. Yeah. Now, what types of things can he look for? Can he go out of his way to fly from San Fran all the way across the world into Germany in the middle of week 3, knowing that he's not going to play for at least a couple more weeks? Now, at the minimum, he's there to get evaluated by a specialist of a different caliber. Now, they can do MRIs here. We can do CT scans. We can do ultrasounds. Nothing's going to change in Germany. What can change is the access to a different type of treatment, where they're doing a different type of modified stem cell. They're doing a different type of stem cell that is not allowed here in America, an allograft type, a modified aggressive allograft that can be manipulated. You know, sometimes you see that in Panama or Colombia or Costa Rica or something.
I'm not saying he's wrong here, but I did see another doctor state that this is not stem cells. I truly don't know. I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but another doctor said, just to clarify, this is not stem cells. So this guy's either telling the truth or the other guy's telling the truth, or he's saying it's a different kind of stem cells that's classified as a stem cell. So we'll see.
Some of these other countries, and those other countries are a little bit risky. Germany is very good at what they do. So we don't have specifics, I would love to know specifics, but in general, this is more concerning to me than comforting. Why? Because think about it. He literally had to fly across the world in the middle of the season to address likely his Achilles tendon issue. So now he's dealing with two different injuries, the calf strain, which should be fine by now, and the Achilles issue. Now, the Achilles issue is likely two separate issues on its own. He has acute Achilles tendonitis, which in my opinion isn't a big deal. It is a precursor for bigger things, but in itself, it's not particularly concerning. He's likely dealing with acute on chronic Achilles injury.
Acute chronic. It just sounds acute chronic. That sounds like an oxymoron, but I guess not entirely, but yeah. Does the NFL need to prove the treatment they get on players taking meds for the PEDs without? Ooh. That's a good point, Strawberry. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. I know apparently Kobe Bryant did this exact same thing. Kind of like thinking about that on the top of my head. I think that's a good point. Maybe if whatever they're probably going to drug test him, right? And if he has like any of those things of PEDs or whatever in his system, then they'll probably get him for it and suspend him for that. But if he's got nothing in his blood and there's nothing to prove, if there's no blood, there's nothing to prove or anything like that, you can just say, I just went to Germany for an operation and there's nothing proving that I had PEDs or something like that. I don't think they could do anything about it. But if he probably pops up with PEDs, then yeah, they probably would. So I don't think so. He would have to pop up with PEDs in his blood because you can't prove it at that point. It's all hearsay at that point. My guess is he is forthcoming. Would have to be, yeah. I think and I do agree with your what you had to say here. Be for real, that CMC is a bit crazy. He's probably really frustrated. I agree with that too. He probably doesn't like what he's seeing out there with his Achilles, and it's not healing it. And he's probably told that it's an acute Achilles tendonitis, so at any moment you could feel better, but it's not getting better. So that's probably what he's frustrated with. So I agree, Strawberry. There is definitely a possibility that he's just super vigilant about getting this fixed as soon as possible. Even though Jordan Mason, in my opinion, is filling in great. Like, I think Jordan Mason, no offense to CMC, but I don't think running back is the issue. I don't think running back is the reason why we're losing these games or looking shitty. And I'm not trying to discount Christian McCaffrey. I'm trying to give credit to Jordan Mason for being an absolute stud. Yeah, he's one of those players obsessed with football. Yeah, I totally agree. So, yeah, you're right there. I think he's probably just being told it's a cute injury. It's like not that bad. You'll be fine in day to day. And he's like, I'm not feeling better, damn it. But all right, so let's go ahead and finish this video and get out of here.
Meaning he has an acute Achilles injury, Achilles tendonitis, inflammation of the tendon, but also a disorganization of the actual fibers as they come out. So the Achilles actually comes up in twists. So that's how it's structured from top to bottom. Now, the way that the disorganization can happen in these chronic tendon injuries, it can actually start to fray like a rope. So what can happen is you literally are running 50% rope. You're asking the body to push it at 100% strength. So eventually over time, that rope can't handle that strength or that stress anymore.
What happens we have right now
full thickness
is Juwan Hennings.
So my suspicion is McCaffrey is there trying to figure out what they can inject to strengthen this up, but also allow him to play. I have never evaluated McCaffrey myself, but I know someone who has, and I know what type of stem cells he's used in the past. Those types of stem cells he cannot use right now because they're too inflammatory. PRP, taken from the blood, is too inflammatory and very weak compared to what he needs. On a scale of 0 to 10 in potency, PRP is about a 3. He needs about a 7, 8, 9. And he needs it multiple times. I do my injections in series of 3. I don't know what the docs in Germany are going to do or how they're going to do it, but I have significant concerns not only about his Achilles, but about his ability to play not only the rest of this season, but possibly indefinitely. Is there a possibility that he actually suffered such a significant injury that he may not be able to play again without rupturing his Achilles? I'm going to leave you with one final thought before we have any more information.
You just left me with an evil thought that we just paid Christian McCaffrey with an extension, and a month later he has his Achilles thing. That's like the worst fucking news, dude. It's like the Madden curse is real, man. It's a real thing. It has to be, dude. Christian McCaffrey, understand, what is he, 28 years old, and he may very well have to retire because of this Achilles. There's a possibility, guys. There's a possibility that this is his body's just not going to heal like that anymore, and that's a scary thought. You know, it sucks for him because that's what, like Strawberry said, he's obsessed with football, and that's probably what he's dealing with right now. Psychologically, he's probably dealing with the fact that there's a chance. There's like I don't know the percentages, so don't take to heart what I'm saying here, but no one's actually brought up the idea that he might not be able to play again. I guess there's a chance of that, and that's scary to me. It's not only for Christian McCaffrey, but as a fan. I mean, that's a huge loss in the sense of a player who loves his sport and he's being held back due to his body. That's such a bummer, dude. I hope he recovers. I hope he's fine. I hope he can come back. If he has to have the year off, he has to have the year off, and that's fine. But I hope that for him personally, he's able to come back and psychologically be able to handle this and get through this. Just having the passion of something you truly love to do, and then someone telling you can no longer do it, is so crazy to me. Like the thought, like if I was a 49ers content creator and I got paid to do it and stuff, and then someone told me, I don't know how this is possible. I can't go live anymore. I can't do that anymore. I can't follow that passion anymore. That would hurt me to the core. And so I can only imagine. I hope that he's okay, and I hope that doesn't
information
at that point.
Dre Greenlaw of the 49ers before the Super Bowl reportedly was dealing with Achilles tendonitis. And unfortunately, what happened to Greenlaw not too long after that, he tore his Achilles tendon. So if you have injury, you have inflammation, you have weakness in that tendon, you are predisposed to rupturing that tendon. And as we've seen for most running backs in the NFL, that's a game changer. That is likely a career ender or significant, delay. So I wish McCaffrey the best of luck. I hope he gets the answers he's looking for, gets the treatments he's looking for, and hopefully we will hear more in the next week or two to come.